Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
How many people need a haircut? I know I do. Coming up, we'll tell you where people all over Michigan are flocking to get their hair done starting tomorrow.
Also, mayors preparing for the day the governor gives the green light. Tonight, one city releases its reopening plan and how things will look once the stay-at-home order is lifted.
But we begin tonight with the weather and overnight flooding concerns across Metro Detroit.
Let's start things off here at 11 at Ben's house, and he's tracking more showers headed our way. Ben?
Yeah, Kim and Devin, overnight, you're right. That's not something we want to see, especially for folks who are going to be on the roads early, maybe pre-dawn tomorrow. We're definitely going to be watching out for ponding and possibly some urban flooding. Let's go right to radar. And even though we've been dry for most of the evening, you can start seeing those showers develop to the south that are starting to push a little bit further north. You can see all that development just now starting to get going here in northern parts of Indiana. That's all headed in our direction, and we'll see those areas of showers start to expand into Michigan overnight. And once they're here, they're going to be with us all the way through at least the first half of tomorrow. That's why that flood watch is in effect tonight. Technically expires right around daybreak tomorrow, but maybe will get extended depending on how this system develops. Here's how things shake out in the morning, 6, 8 o'clock. Pretty much we're going to see a lot of those downpours continuing. By 10 o'clock, that stuff becomes more scattered, and a lot of us will be dry by noon, setting the stage for a nice finish to the day. But at least the first half of tomorrow could be rocky. We'll talk more about how much rain we're expecting and even more coming for Sunday. That's all in a few minutes, guys.
Ben, the legal battle over Governor Whitmer's emergency powers heads to court tomorrow.
A Michigan Court of Claims judge is set to hear oral arguments in the legislature's lawsuit challenging the governor's emergency powers. Today, the state reported nearly 1,200 new cases and 73 deaths. And late tonight, Governor Whitmer signing a new executive order extending the state's eviction ban through June 11. And while most of us in Michigan dream of a day when we can make an appointment to get our hair done again, the dream comes true for Ohioans, with hair salons and barbershops reopening tomorrow.
But as Jason Colthorpe reports, there could be a new border war of sorts as Michiganders make some road trips.
A lot of Metro Detroiters are leaving tomorrow, headed for destinations south, like here in downtown Sylvania, Ohio. The restaurants and salons here are taking reservations from people all over Michigan. Workers are finishing up some quarantine remodeling at Reveille Salon and Spa, where appointments are now almost as coveted as Super Bowl tickets.
Every stylist had, probably hundreds of clients that were canceled and rescheduled.
In addition to regulars, they're getting many calls from new clients, a lot of them from Michigan.
Like as far as Traverse City, so quite a bit of interest, and we're very close to Michigan, as you know.
Owner Carmen Wigmans has not only extended hours for all the appointments, she's outfitted her entire salon with new social distancing measures.
Making sure that everything is in, tip-top shape and all the protocols to a T.
Our dining room is very small.
Upside Brewing, just down the street, is as desperate as any for the customers to return, but at least to start, they're playing it safe.
We're doing really well with the parking lot pickup, so we're just going to see how it goes. We're going to wrap our heads around it a little more and see if we can come up with something that works.
And both are ready to make some new friends from the north.
Sure, why not? Yeah, it's a great opportunity for all the businesses here on the street.
I'm not sure who's Michigan and who's not. We're not looking at plates, but we'll give Michigan some food, that's for sure,
I think they are checking plates personally, but we could see US 23 and I-75 very busy for a while, because we know that salons, restaurant, bars are all businesses that are going to be the last to open here in Michigan under the governor's plan. Devin, back to you.
Well, Jason, we heard the salon owner talking about following the protocols. How strict are the protocols in Ohio?
This is interesting, Devin. Not very. There are some basic protocols, she told me, but a lot of this are suggestions after that. She said in her case, clients do not have to wear masks, although they are requiring them. So it'll be very interesting to see how businesses that all open up treat the safety aspect of this, and if it affects the numbers in Ohio going forward.
Yeah, really interesting to watch. All right, you drive home with the window down tonight and let all that hair fly in the breeze. All right, there you go.
Need a cut. Need a cut.
Kim,
All right, well, here at home, Governor Whitmer hinted today that gatherings of 10 people or fewer could be allowed as soon as May 28th.
That's my hope, right? That's the goal, is that we continue to see our testing ramp up and we see our positives continue to decline. The vast majority of people in our state have been doing the right thing, but we have seen increased activity. And so we have to keep testing and we have to keep measuring and to make sure that we don't have community spread. If that's the case, then there is the very real chance that we can take the next step forward in the next phase. And that could include the potential of 10 or less gatherings. But the fact of the matter is, we can't say that definitively right now. We have got to keep our eye on whether or not COVID-19 is spreading before we can make that determination.
Well, under the governor's stay-at-home order, Michiganders can't leave their homes except to run critical errands, engage in safe outdoor activities, or to go to work. Meanwhile, hundreds of people angry over Michigan's stay-home order protested in the rain outside the state capitol. Today's demonstration was smaller than previous rallies. The Capitol was closed and the legislature was not in session. The protest was organized by a conservative activist group. There were no arrests.
Now, the governor may not be willing to say when the state can start to reopen, but local cities already have some plans in place, and it's going to look quite different from what we're used to. Mara McDonald is in Sterling Heights tonight, and Mara, the city is making its plans public.
Devin, unsurprisingly, there's going to be a lot of social distancing going on here and keeping the density in the building down. You know how when you go out to dinner, or how when we used to go out to dinner, at some restaurants, if you had to wait for a table, they'd give you a pager to let you know when your table was ready? Well, Sterling Heights is going to do the same thing here. When Governor Whitmer gives the go-ahead to start reopening, Sterling Heights will control the amount of people who are in the building at any given time. For starters, there will be someone to check you in at the door.
If you need to go to assessing, or you need to go to treasury, or you need to go to building department, there's going to be somebody behind a plexiglass wall that checks you in. We're going to have one person at each department at a time. And if you need to wait, there'll be a waiting area. And if there's a third person that needs to go to a department, they're going to be given some sort of a device so they can go sit in their car.
The city has extensive online services available, but realizes some things are easier to do in person. There will be 2 pools of employees who can work on alternate daily schedules, while some will continue working from home. All employees will be wearing masks, and visitors to City Hall will be required to wear a mask while in the building. As far as reopening the senior center and all the events the public loves, like the Farmers Market in Dodge Park, those are all some of the last things which will get back up and running.
A lot of our summer parks programming, especially for kids, has been canceled. Every park amenity, like our splash pad, our farmers market, and all of our parks are technically closed, and all that programming is canceled through June 30th. We just haven't made a decision on dates after June 30th.
Employees are going to have to go through a daily health check. That means filling out a form saying, do you feel well? Have you had any contact with anybody with COVID? They're also going to have their temperature taken when they come to work. Just this week, Sterling Heights made sure that all its frontline workers got a COVID-19 antibody test. We are in Sterling Heights. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Okay, Mara. A new alert being issued to doctors about that mystery illness affecting children.
We'll tell you about the steps the CDC is now taking to help doctors as the syndrome appears in more and more states.
But first, Mayor Mike Duggan opens up about how the pandemic could impact the future of Detroit and what the city could look like when it begins to reopen.
I wouldn't be surprised if later this year you have restaurants and casinos opening at a third of capacity, and you've got people spaced 6 feet apart.
My one-on-one interview with the mayor coming up next.